Most people have heard of the Bermuda Triangle. Fewer know that on the opposite side of the world, there's a stretch of ocean with an eerily similar reputation. Japanese fishermen call it Ma no Umi, the Devil's Sea. Since the 1950s, it's been linked to a string of mysterious disappearances, and at one point, the Japanese government took the unusual step of officially marking it as a hazardous zone. The Devil's Sea sits in the Pacific Ocean, roughly 100 kilometers south of Tokyo, near the volcanic Izu Islands. Unlike the Bermuda Triangle, which has been heavily scrutinized and largely debunked by researchers who point to normal shipping traffic and storm patterns as the cause of most incidents attributed to it, the Devil's Sea has received far less outside investigation, which has allowed its reputation to grow with fewer counter-explanations reaching the public. The area's ominous reputation dates back centuries in Japanese maritime folklore, but it gained international attention in the mid-20th century after a series of disappearances involving fishing vessels and research ships. Between 1952 and 1954 alone, several Japanese vessels reportedly vanished in the region without a clear explanation, including a research ship called the Kiyomaru No. 5, which was sent specifically to investigate the disappearances and reportedly vanished itself along with its crew of 31 people. The pattern of losses was enough that in 1955, the Japanese government officially declared the area a danger zone, and for several years afterward, ships were advised to avoid the region entirely. So what's actually going on there? Unlike the Bermuda Triangle, the Devil's Sea does have some genuinely unusual geological activity to point to. The region sits along an active volcanic zone, part of the Pacific's larger Ring of Fire, where underwater volcanic eruptions and the formation of new landmasses have been documented. In fact, an entirely new island called Myojin-sho briefly rose from the sea in this exact region in 1952 due to underwater volcanic activity, only to collapse and disappear beneath the waves again shortly after, and notably, one of the research vessels sent to study that very volcanic activity was among the ships that vanished. This has led most researchers who've looked into the Devil's Sea to lean toward a volcanic and geological explanation rather than anything supernatural. Underwater eruptions can create sudden changes in water temperature, unpredictable currents, and even patches of gas release from the seafloor that could destabilize a ship without warning, particularly in an era before modern satellite tracking and communication existed. Older vessels from the 1950s also lacked the kind of real-time distress signaling equipment that could explain why so many disappearances happened without any radio warning reaching anyone. Interestingly, after a period of heightened caution in the 1950s, incidents in the region dropped off significantly, and by the 1960s, the Japanese government quietly lifted its official warning about the area. Some point to this decline as evidence that the danger was tied to a specific period of unusually active volcanic activity that has since settled, rather than an ongoing, unexplained threat. Today, the Devil's Sea doesn't carry the same cultural weight internationally that the Bermuda Triangle does, but for a period of several years, it claimed ships, research vessels, and dozens of lives, in a region where the ocean floor itself was, quite literally, still being rearranged. Whether every disappearance in that decade has a clean geological explanation is something we may never fully know, but the sea beneath that stretch of the Pacific has proven, at least once, that it's capable of making land appear and vanish entirely on its own.